Hello students, this is Ujjwala Bhandiwad, lecturer from KLS Gokte PU College of Commerce and Science, Belagavi. In the last class, we have started with our fourth chapter, that is software concepts. In that class, we have learnt what is a software, types of software. Just let me recall what is software. Okay, software means it is a set of programs, procedures, okay, which will perform some operation, okay, and to produce the required result. Okay, there are two different types of softwares we have learned, that is, one is a system software, another one is application software. Now in today's class, we will be continuing with the next part, that is operating system. We have heard in a day-to-day life that we are working with a computer, and to work with a computer we require an operating system. What is an operating system? Operating system is a set of programs which provides a friendly interface between user and the computer. Okay, students, let me recall once again. Operating system means it is a set of programs which provides a friendly interface between user and the computer. Okay, computer means not only simple computer, computer and its associated devices. It may be CPU, it may be its memory, it may be its input output devices, etc. Okay, so we want between computer and the user one interface, okay, which will help us to use the computer, that is our operating system. For example, I can give, see, for example, Unix operating system, Linux operating system, MS-DOS operating system, Windows operating system. Windows operating system has a different, you can say, categories. Okay, earlier it was Windows 95, then Windows 98, Windows 2000. Now recently we are using the Windows 7 operating system. All these are different examples of, you can say, operating system. Okay, now let us understand why we have to use the operating system, or what are the functionalities of operating system. Okay, functionality means what the work of the operating system. First function of operating system is memory management. Second functionality is processor management. Third function is device management. And fourth function is information management. Okay, so these are the four important functionalities performed by the operating system. Okay, so we have to learn little bit in detail what they mean to us. Okay, so the first function is memory management. Memory management means it specifies the allocation of physical memory to the requesting process. See here, students, first understand what do you mean by process. Process means, here I have defined, you might observe here. Process means it is a program in the execution. You can see here I have defined what is the meaning of process. Process means a program in execution. We call it as a process. Any program it may be which is executing, we call it as a process. Okay, so that program, okay, to perform its work or to execute, we require it to be stored inside the memory. Hence, we have to allocate some part of the memory. Okay, so memory management means what? How much memory is allocated to that program? Similarly, there are n number of programs which are executing. So, it concerns with keeping the track of memory status. How much memory is allocated to the program? Okay. Then how much memory is not allocated to that program? Means keeping a track. Okay. That is called as memory management. Allocation means we are, you can say, storing that program into the memory, and deallocation means after the work is over, we are removing the memory from that memory. Then what will happen? Deallocation means whatever memory is allocated to that program, it is been released. Okay. Opposite word of allocation is deallocation. So our memory management is specifies about all these things: allocation, deallocation of memory, keeping track of the memory. Okay, all these comes in the memory management. Second functionality is processor management. Processor management means what? It specifies assignment of processor to the processes. Understand here, students. Processor is different, process is different. Right now I defined what is the meaning of process. Process means a program in execution is known as process. Processor means our CPU where the program is executing. Okay, where the operation is taking place. That is a part where we call it as CPU. So processor is nothing but our CPU. So how many, you can say, processors? There will be only one processor. So how many programs or processes are executing and how much CPU is allocated? Entire CPU is allocated only one program, or n number of programs are working, the processor is allocated to each one of them systematically. So that is nothing but allocation of processor management. Okay. Third functionality is device management. Device management means what? We know that our computer is associated with I/O devices. I/O device means input and output devices. Okay. So allocation of, you can say, input and output devices. After the program performs its task, then a deallocation of input and output devices. Okay. So hence device management means what? How efficiently I/O devices are allocated to each and every program. Okay, so that the computer system performs its tasks efficiently. Okay, this is nothing but related with the device management. Next comes fourth part, that is information management. Fourth functionality it is. Information management means it specifies the managing secondary storage and deallocation. Means what? See, we know that all the information or programs are permanently stored in the secondary storage devices. Permanently stored secondary storage device means what? It may be our hard disk. You can, secondary storage example is our hard disk. So in the hard disk all the information will be stored permanently. Then entire hard disk is not allocated to only one program. There may be n number of programs. So we have to allocate the memory, secondary storage memory, to each one of the program. So that is allocation, and after the work is over we may delete our program, then that is deallocation of the secondary storage. Okay, so these are the functionalities of operating system. Next is, you can learn about the language translators. See here, students, user, okay, is talking in one language. Computer is a machine, it performs the task in its own language. So there is a gap between user and the computer machine. Okay, whatever the user is talking, the computer should understand, perform its task, then only you will get the required result. So hence we require the language translator. What is language translator means? See here students, language translator means it is a software that translates computer program written in some programming language into another language. See what will happen. See, I am talking in an English language. So you know the English language, you are understanding it. If you don't know it, then you require a translator to understand what I am teaching to you. Similarly, whatever we write as a program, set of instructions we write, okay, those are written in a English like high level languages that is not understood by the computer directly. Hence, computer requires a language translator. What it does, the language translator takes the program written by the user, convert it into its own language. What is the language of the computer is? It understands only machine language. It doesn't understand any other language. Machine language means it uses only two symbols, where 0 and 1. You know binary number system, when we were taught, that time we have taught these all things. Okay. So language translator are required in the computer to perform the task efficiently. Okay. There are different types of languages are there. It may be high level language, it may be assembly language. Okay. What is assembler? Assembler means it is one of the translator used to convert assembly language into machine level language. You can see. Okay. Similarly, compiler means what? Compiler and interpreter means these are the translator used by the high level language to convert high level language into machine language. Okay. So remember students, 1 mark question. What is assembler? What is compiler? Okay. All these things will be asked in the exam for 1 mark. Okay. Now, after learning the language translators, we will be learning now about the operating system and its types. Basically, operating system is classified into 5 different categories. You can see here. Okay, which are they? Single user operating system, batch operating system, multi-programming operating system, distributed operating system, and fifth one is network operating system. Okay, there are 5 different types of operating systems are there. The third category, that is multi-programming operating system, is again divided into 4 different types. It is a sub-classification. Okay. First one is multitasking operating system. Then comes multi-user operating system. Then comes time-sharing operating system. And finally, it is a real-time operating system. Okay, so these are the different categories of operating systems. So students, please remember for 1 mark, what are the different types of operating system. Now, let us learn one by one the different types of operating system. First one is single user operating system. The name only tells you. This operating system is used by only one user. Okay. Means what? It only allows one user to share the system resources. System resources means what? What are the things associated with the computer system. It may be memory, it may be CPU, it may be its IO devices. All these things are used by only a single user. Then it is called single user operating system. For example, I can give DOS. Okay, you might not heard about this. DOS is a single user operating system. The full form of DOS is disk operating system. Please students, remember the full form of all these operating systems. Okay, DOS full form is disk operating system. It allows to create, edit and delete the various files. It performs the allocation and deallocation of the memory. These are the characteristics of disk operating system. Okay. Second operating system, one more single user operating system example is Windows 98. Now we are not using Windows 98. We are using different version of Windows. Am I right? So Windows 98 was used earlier. It was an example for single user operating system. Okay. It is used for the desktop personal computers. Earlier for personal work we used to use Windows 98. So single user operating system, two important examples. One is DOS, that is disk operating system. Second one is Windows 98. Next comes batch operating system, second category. See, batch means what? Remember students, in a class, suppose, just let me give you a general example. We have a strength of 60 students. Okay. And we want to take you to the perform computer lab, to perform or to practice some programs in the computer lab. The capacity of computer lab is only 30 computers are available and our student strength is 60. We cannot accommodate the students into the lab. Then what we do? We divide the students into batches. Batch 1 30 students, batch 2 remaining 30 students. And we call first 30 batch one day, second 30 batch another day. Okay. Here also same thing, the same concept. Batch operating system means what? It requires programs, data and commands. It functions in a FIFO order. FIFO means first in, first out order. There is no interaction between user and the program. Remember students, which program comes first will be executed in the CPU and it will be going ahead. First in, first out means whichever comes first will be performed in the CPU and then after it's over, the next program will come, next program. Like batch wise, it will be executing the programs. Where it is used? It is used in the area of payroll system, forecasting, statistical analysis. See here, payroll means at the end of every month in any organization, employees will be paid for by the employers with some salary or remuneration, right? To calculate how much our employee has worked, okay, we use this payroll system and we pay the amount to the employee there. And forecasting means weather forecasting, okay, there, statistical analysis. In these area we use this batch operating system. Example we can give is IBM system 360 operating system is a example for batch operating system. Okay. Now students, let us recall whatever we have learned today with some few question and answers. First question will be, what is an compiler? You know already, you have learned it is a high level language translator which converts high level language into machine level language. Then second one, what is a language translator? Means what? Language translator is a set of program or it is a software which translates any high level program into the machine level language. Okay. What is an operating system? Give an example. You know, operating system means it is a friendly interface between a user and the computer. Okay. Now, example you can give anything, Windows, Unix, Linux, etc. Then write any two functions of operating system. You can write any two features, any functionalities. Then the final question is name any single user operating system. You can give Windows 98 or DOS, that is disk operating system. You should remember the full form, students. So we have covered two operating system in today's class. Remaining operating system will be covered again in the next class. Thank you, students.